Every day I'm like, I'm gonna take a video and I'm gonna talk about our day, and reality happens and kids are tired and cranky and I'm tired and cranky, and it just never ends up happening. So this is my attempt to try to come on and talk a little bit about our Europe travels, specifically Paris, because that's where we are right now. I will flip the camera around real quick. I think it might be too bright to see. I can show you around a little bit more in another room, but I'm gonna try here really quick. You can actually see the top of the Eiffel Tower from the room that we're staying in. So let's give it a try. So we have a nice French balcony in here. I'm just gonna go ahead, open it. It is like rush hour right now, so you're gonna hear a lot of traffic. And if you tilt, oh, it's so sunny. Tilt up. I don't know if I'm getting it or not. I'm gonna try that again. I'm hoping that I'm getting it, but I might not be. Anyway, you want to see down? This is the street we're on. Like I said, it is rush hour, so there's a lot of traffic going on. I don't know if that traffic is going to be disturbing or if it'll give you a better sense of the vibe around here, but we are in the 7th arrondissement, which I was told and came across in my research a lot that it's very safe, it's very quiet, so maybe doesn't have all the action or as many food options as other places, but it's supposed to be one of the quietest and safest. So we've really enjoyed staying here. I've really enjoyed these French balconies and just walking to the boulangeries and the patisseries and the markets and getting fresh fruit every day, and the fromageries as well. The food here is just so amazing and probably one of the things that I'm going to miss the most. So I'm trying to think of a few things that I wish we had known prior to arriving. I mean, I think most people know this, but I think that it's important to remind everyone that if you are coming, it is good to know a little bit of French. Not everyone speaks English. This is a French-speaking country, so the respectful thing is, of course, to attempt to speak French, at least at minimum, a bonjour to everyone that you're seeing. And then, you know, it's helpful if you could just learn a few phrases too, but if you can't, can't remember it, or you're just maybe super uncomfortable, parlez-vous anglais, just ask if they speak English. Most people here do, not all, but most of the people that we've encountered in businesses, in the different shops and restaurants do. So that's always nice to at least say bonjour and then parlez-vous anglais, and then go ahead and start speaking English rather than just walking in and assuming that everyone there speaks English. Let's see, tip number 2, learn how to use the metro. The metro is actually really easy to use, and you can get your tickets on these little, I don't know what you call them, kiosks, I guess, that are actually in English, or you can select English as your language. So that's super easy. The metro makes it really easy to get from one part of town to the other, so that's really important as well. Cabs here, I've not heard good things about cabs. We did use a cab service that was recommended by the company that this apartment is hosted through, so it was not the best experience. It also wasn't the worst, so I think maybe there are some good ones out there. However, we've done Uber a few times, had great luck with that. And then the metro the other times, and just walking, honestly, we were able to walk around a lot and, now not even have to worry about public transportation. I think it's important to plan ahead and read reviews. There are some little restaurants that look nice and cute right around where we're staying. However, if you go on Yelp or Google reviews, you will see 1.5-star reviews, some even worse, stating that they will overprice items on an English menu, which is actually against the law, and that the food is horrible. So even though it might look convenient to go someplace, it's always good to kind of, do a little background check being that, you know, you are probably, if you're coming to Paris, going to be staying in a touristy area, it's good to go ahead and do a little bit of research there. Bring really good walking shoes, because you are going to be doing a lot of walking, even if you're taking the metro system, to get from station to station, to go up and down all the stairs, to get from where you're staying to the metro station. It's a lot of walking, and you're going to want to explore Paris. So definitely bring some good walking shoes. Oh, another one, the Louvre. Two things. One, it is closed on Tuesdays, so I actually had planned to visit the Louvre on Tuesday, not knowing that it was closed on Tuesdays. Luckily, I found out before we arrived here, so it ended up being totally fine. But it is closed Tuesdays, so don't plan to go to the Louvre on a Tuesday. Also, the Louvre, so crowded. I have been told by multiple locals, go early in the morning, which I would have never guessed. I always thought everything was always the most crowded in the morning. They said, go to the Louvre early in the morning. So when we went, it was like herding cattle. I mean, everyone's like shoulder to shoulder, and some people are getting nasty with other people. I mean, it was not a good scene. And honestly, I would not recommend it. We went to pretty much go and show our kids what it was. And we honestly were there for about 20 minutes and left. It was just too chaotic. You couldn't enjoy any of the art. It was just a, you know, big sea of people. Maybe consider not going out to eat and grabbing some items, some local items, and doing like your own picnic or just your own dinner at your apartment or Airbnb or hotel or wherever you're staying. I'll show a quick little overview of something I put together, which is essentially just like a really nice charcuterie type thing, minus the meat, but just, you know, a selection of things I got from local markets, and you know, that was nice. Also, it helped to do two things. One, to cut back on, I mean, I just feel like we've eaten so much since we've been here, so to kind of provide us with a smaller meal. And two, it was cheaper. It was a lot cheaper than going out to dinner. So just something to keep in mind. And I think that's it. Those are my, you know, my biggest tips and takeaways that I can think of, at least right now. I'm sure I'm gonna think of more, and so I'll probably have to add on to this video at some point. But for now, those are the biggest things that are fresh in my mind while we're still here. This is our last day, last night in Paris. It's funny I say day, it's actually probably about 6:30 p.m. It gets darker, or it stays lighter here later, so it gets darker much later than we are used to. So it won't be until like 10 p.m. that it actually starts to get dark, and yeah, so that really, if you're coming from another country with a significant time difference, it can really mess with your body clock. So actually that's my last tip. My last tip is there's an app not affiliated with it or associated with it in any way. It's called Time Shifter, and we actually just heard about it on this trip, so we were not able to use it before we came over, but it's something that supposedly helps you to get your body prepared to minimize the effects of jet lag. So something that you might want to look into. So I hope that you found some of that inside information to be a little bit helpful. I didn't want to go with all the standard tips that I see all the time, because I'm sure that you've heard those as well. But I hope that you found this to be helpful. And if you did, go ahead and hit that like button. It does help our channel. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video.